Welcome back to the Doomsday Clock. Today we'll be talking about the 2013 film Thor: The Dark World. My name is Eric, and I'm always joined by my co-host Jack.
Hello, I'm Jack.
All right, so we got another banger to talk about today.
Just as good as last week.
Before we talk about like box office and stuff like that, I kind of want to start talking about personal history. Do you have any personal history with this one?
This is actually kind of a momentous occasion. I believe this is the last movie I haven't seen.
Really?
I've seen the rest of the movies for the MCU. Yes, this is the last one that I had not seen. So this is the first time I've watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the only thing that I have not seen is Secret Invasion, which is
which is
like that's October. So
Mhm.
we've got time to go. So this is the last movie that I have not seen. So that's my only history is no history.
Yeah. I've watched this movie one time, my classic number for watches of a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And I used to really hate this movie. I guess I'll get into how I actually feel nowadays later, but yeah, I do actually have some history with this one because I really hated this movie the first time I watched it. So this time I watched it, I tried to just like put that aside and just like actually watch it as if it was the first time. I try to do that with all my movies. So
Yeah.
just want to put that out there. Gave this one a fair shot. All right.
But did the audiences give this one a fair shot?
Who knows? All right, now we can go to our game. What do you want to do for this one?
So this is up to you. I won Iron Man 3. This is up to you.
We just did box office. We just did budget. Let's do box office.
Alrighty. I was hoping you were going to say budget. I have an idea for budget. I don't know box office.
Yeah, this one's tough. Am I allowed to look up how much Thor 1 made? Thor 1 made a lot, right?
Thor 1 made quite a bit. I believe it was in the... I don't know, actually.
Let me look.
Make up a
Thor,
number.
that one made 450 worldwide.
Okay, sure. I don't feel good about this. I don't.
I'm gonna give something modest.
It's crazy how little I actually know about like budgets and box offices for the MCU.
I'm gonna be okay. Yeah.
To be fair, why would I care? I didn't.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention for movies I like actively, like Dune. I don't know how much that movie made.
Not enough. I don't care how much it made. It wasn't enough.
Literally. All right, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay. So I said 645 million.
I
said
said
550 million.
Mm-hmm. Thor: Dark World. Because I didn't want to. Because the other one only made 450, but this is after Avengers, so people are a little bit more locked in.
Yeah, but I feel like it only does well the first couple of weeks.
You're like spot on. I think.
Am I goated?
644.7 mil.
Do I get a bonus point? No, but
no, because I think I was close on one too.
Yeah.
Woo! I was my original. I went down. I was gonna say 600, which obviously wouldn't have been close enough, but
that's crazy.
Maybe
I do know more
budget?
about these than I thought. That's a great question. I would guess. Show me 160 to 180.
170.
Can we record every other episode today so I can just win the rest? That's it. We're going to find a way to watch 7 more movies today and record 7 more episodes.
That's great. I mean, I'm not really that surprised that it made more because this is after Avengers. This is after Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
They're on a bit of a hot streak, and then this movie happened. But
and they get back on the hot streak.
And then they do. This is
Spoilers,
just a road bump.
Spoilers, I guess. The Winter Soldier and Guardians episodes are going to be a lot more Iron Man 3 than Incredible Hulk.
We'll get to Guardians. Oh. Anyways.
So I'll go ahead and start with what I thought about this movie then. So here's the thing. I am the Thor 1 defender, right? I will gladly wear that title as the Thor 1 defender. I don't think this movie is very good, but I don't think this movie is horrendous. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in here. I think there's a lot of interesting premises. I think it is played out badly. I think the pacing is abysmal for a lot of it until it's not, and then it is again. I think that there are some characters who are not characters. There are plot devices. I think that there's some good acting. I think there's some other things that happen. I'm very mixed. I think there's good. I think there's bad. But I think the worst part is there's a lot of boring. And if I'm watching a movie, the one thing I don't want it to be is boring. Sometimes I stop taking notes about a movie because I get too locked in and I have to pause it and come back. Other times I stop taking notes about a movie because I'm so bored that I don't want to talk about it. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think there's good, I think there's bad, but I think there's mostly just, it is here. And I think that's why this is kind of known as the stinker. Eric?
Yeah, I'll be very brief. I'm just gonna say my letterboxd review, and that this might be the most mid movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I agree. I wrote down this movie is just fine. It exists. Like I do think there's some legitimately cool stuff, but yeah. All right, we can get into it now.
Yeah.
I'll
I have
start
a
off real
question,
quick.
actually.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Before we start, I have a question.
Mm.
How is the Aether a dark force if the portal is made from glowstone?
Well, I was actually gonna say that the Aether's like a Call of Duty Zombies reference, but you know, that just would make it more interesting.
That would make it more interesting. Okay, you can go ahead and start with what you were going to say.
No, I was just gonna say it's a COD Zombies reference.
Oh, you're just going to say it's a COD Zombies?
I will.
Unfortunately,
start,
this movie would be better if it was about either COD Zombies or the Minecraft
It kind of is
dimension that we all thought
it.
was
It's like
real.
ancient wars between like gods and anyways.
You raise a good point.
Um, I'll start off with a positive. I kind of think the elves look really cool. I'm not gonna lie, with like
Correct.
their hollow eyes and stuff like that.
Yep.
I think they look really cool. That's kind of it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about them right now.
I can just rapid fire some of my notes
Mhm.
because I know we don't really want to go through a lot of this. Talking about like the first, like the opening where they're talking about the war. I think it's a cool parallel to Thor 1 to start with, Odin explaining a war. I feel like you didn't need to do the war. You could have just portaled the Aether away like you did at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could have just done that the whole time. But I do still like the intersection of science and magic that these movies kind of rely on with like the futuristic ships, but still like it kind of being magic and not straight up science. I really like that. And then he says that he's going to bury it where no one will ever find it. And they made a great choice. They buried it in Thor the Dark World.
Yeah, they buried it and then it got found.
Yep.
The next convergence cycle.
So honestly, they did a terrible job at finding it, or at burying it, because the one time, 5,000 years later, that it needed to not be found, it was found by someone who did not mean to find it.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. I do want to bring up the point too. So when it comes to Asgardians, because they explicitly stay in this movie, they are not gods.
Right.
So is the average Asgardian just like someone that is stronger, lives longer,
Okay,
and
so
like
they're
faster?
they're not capital G gods. They're lowercase g gods.
Right.
Meaning that they are just kind of pseudo immortal. Meaning, yeah,
Mhm.
they're faster, stronger, live way longer. Yeah.
Okay, and then Loki and Thor are just like, well, Loki's exception because he was born to a different race, but
He's
Thor
a giant, yeah.
just kind of was born with. He just got lucky enough to be born with these powers, and same with Heimdall. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. We're already like just skipping through this movie because it's just so mid.
I do want to say in this opening scene we have Loki arrested. I do like that it continues directly after Avengers. We have Loki being arrested, and Odin says, and I quote, "Your birthright was to die as a child." I shut up. I shut up after that.
Yeah, me personally.
I go, "Whoops, my bad." And then my next note is, "Oh great, Thor's 3 friends are back."
I know. I put Thor friends
Quick.
frowny face.
Quick, we named them last time. What are their names, Eric?
The lady is Sif.
Correct.
I don't know the other two.
Me neither.
Okay,
This movie doesn't care about them.
the only one they kind of care about is Sif, but that's like for one scene.
Yeah, and it just cuts to her weirdly a few times throughout this movie. What do you think of this like opening fight scene with like all of the like I don't even know what they're not dark elves, like they're just fighting somebody.
They're just
And
fighting
there's
like a
the big rock
random
guy.
force. I mean, so Thor's supposed to have gone through all this character arc stuff where he's like, I don't want to fight if I don't have to, right? You know?
Yeah.
Admittedly, I was watching the beginning of this movie and I was like, this is a little parallel to what he was doing at the beginning of Thor 1, kind of. Where
Yeah.
he's like just going around killing dudes, you know?
You're right.
So it feels a little regressive for
But
his
but
character.
but he's not going out of it. Like these
He's
people,
not
like they're
going out of his
attacking
way.
this
Yeah,
village. He's not like trying to cause a
he's
war.
doing it in a protective manner. I get there's a
Yeah.
difference. Yeah, but
Um.
it did pop into my head, and I think it's better here. But
Yeah. I had an idea that I want to pitch you. Okay.
yeah,
So imagine this scene, right? When Thor arrives, but when he arrives, it's like this like either 80s rock song or like techno synth soundtrack. Think that would work better for
um,
this character, or like you think no?
no, I think we need some screaming goats though.
Great idea.
Probably.
I do think that it's a good that they kept the like Shakespearean way of like I think that like the style consistencies are good.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the scene that I noticed this in is when Odin's just like, "Hey, dump Jane. She's gonna die. Go date Stiff. She likes
Yeah.
you." And I'm like, dude, Thor is just me when I was doing long distance. Like, I fully get it. He's like,
Mhm.
this sucks. It does.
Yeah.
And then a guy says another. He
Yeah.
says the thing.
We could talk about Odin in a minute, but I just wanted to shout out the one randomly cool transition between the Bifrost and the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
Randomly out of nowhere, that was really cool. It's like a TikTok edit. And then
Yeah.
also the Bifrost is just back now. We got it back.
I guess.
Okay. Because in Avengers, they like go out of their way to say it's like dark magic. Like they mention that.
Yeah.
Is why Thor was coming back, and then now it's just the Bifrost again. Okay, all right.
Okay. I'm chill with it, but like, that was like a big consequence at the end of Thor 1.
Yeah,
And now
it doesn't matter.
it does not matter.
And-
What do you think about
yeah.
Natalie Portman's date?
That poor guy. He was such
He's
a nice
trying
guy.
his best.
He was being so understanding.
He's just trying his best.
He was
You
out
know?
there trying to meet someone, having a good time. He was trying to have a good time. She was being super antisocial, and then her weird friend comes out of nowhere to pull her away. And he's like, you know what? We'll just try it a different time. Clearly, you're busy. I get it. And then he calls her later in the movie, trying to set up another time to work around her schedule. He's such a nice guy.
And not in like the nice guy way. Like
No, he's
a
like
nice
legitimately super understanding.
dude. Like
I felt
Seabass
so
gets
bad.
mentioned.
I
Big for
felt
me,
so bad.
but yeah, he's trying his best. He's trying as hard as he can.
Yeah, there's too many British people in this movie, but he's okay. I like him.
Yeah. My first note about Ian. Well, first of all, I wrote, "Look how they massacred my boy," talking about Eric Selvig.
Oh yeah,
Character assassination.
rocking with his willy out, dude.
Dude, they turned him from like this cool like scientist kind of mentor figure to Jane to like he went crazy. I just don't like it. I think it's not a good choice. And then my first note about Ian is if Ian gets iced by a dark elf, I'm going to laugh.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think he's just in this movie. I don't think he exists anywhere else in the
No.
MCU.
No, he does not show up again, as far as I remember. So then they go over like, to the warehouse because there's like a spike, and these kids are there. And now they're thinking with portals.
Yeah, I was about to say. I said Portal reference
Portal mention.
because it's the classic.
Where GLaDOS? Yeah. Do the. Why would he throw the keys?
That's why I said, Ian, what are we doing?
Like, he's so dumb.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but this movie is like obsessed with the word shoe.
It is.
They bring it up like 5 different times.
Yeah. Also, I really want to jump backwards. This is not a Kenneth Branagh joint, so I don't feel obligated to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different guy directed this one, so I don't feel obligated to defend it, and I'm not really going to defend it. I'm going to say when I think things are cool. They do say shoe a lot. I'm now realizing.
Yeah, because it's like a running gag they keep trying to mention.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Then Jane gets got by the goop.
Yeah, I don't. It wasn't very hidden, my boy. I'm sorry to tell you. She wasn't even looking for it. She didn't even know it existed.
No. Okay. Wait a minute. I've had a thought. The convergence is happening, so that's why the portals are there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was really well hidden. No, because they stumbled across. Maybe it was well hidden, but because of the portals opening up, it's not now.
I think that was kind of what they're trying to get at. But at that point, why wouldn't you rely on the portals that help and open, like the portals and the ether, like reuniting is the end of the universe.
I don't know, man.
Why would you tie the hidden thing to the end of the universe thing?
Why would you tie the How to Train Your Dragon, the hidden world to the end of the universe? I don't know.
It's just whatever. It's fine, sure. We can run with it.
Why does that dark elf have like the Baron Harkonnen set up? Where he's got like the things up his back.
I know.
He's about to hit the Myrakus.
I will say,
dude,
about the dark elves, I rock with the idea that there's a race out there that's just like the basic opposite of the Asgardians.
Yeah.
Where it's like, because the Asgardians, quote unquote, are like the pure ones, where they're like fighting for the light.
They're light, yeah.
And then these are just the dark ones that are trying to reset the universe because they think it's, too far gone.
Once again, this movie has some great ideas.
Yeah.
The execution is not great.
Unfortunately, it's boring.
Execution that is good. I like Thor and Heimdall's relationship.
I really like the line, "I can't see her," when Heimdall's talking about Jane. Because that's terrifying to hear from her.
Dude, he hits, "I can't see her," and then it cuts to her being Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
This is the same as the CGI looks on Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know. Heimdall the goat, though, of course.
So then he shows up. So then she's back. They've called the police. She's back in the real world. Thor shows up. She raises a great point here. When this is like the last scene that she's like a real character for. And she says that even when he was in New York, he didn't contact her. Mm-hmm. That's on him. That's rude.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Also, she's literally Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he does have a good clapback where he's like, well, the 9 realms are kind of going crazy.
Yeah, he does have a good clapback. I feel like you can stop by.
You could call.
Like, you can call, like, I mean, if you were like, hey, here, you know what, straight up, you were on the SHIELD helicarrier. You could have been like, can you get me in contact with Jane Foster?
Mm-hmm.
Or ask Stark, can you get me in contact with Jane Foster?
Yeah. Like,
there are methods to this. You can do this.
You got to put the effort in, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
Then comes what I think is the worst line in the movie.
Which
the guy goes, "She's dangerous," and he goes, "So am I." And then he flies away, and I'm like, he would not say that.
Yeah, I will admit there was one line I thought was funny where it was like Darcy was like, "Well, how's space?" He goes, "Space is fine." And he smiles at her.
Dude, I love that they have nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
I think it's really funny.
And then
it's just like these two characters that are intrinsically linked, but like not really.
Yeah. And then I don't buy like the romance between Jane and Thor at all, but that's, I mean,
no.
Yeah. Anyways.
Nope. Great news. Doesn't come up again.
Yeah. And then the Thor tradition.
Well, it comes up, but it's not relevant.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they do the Thor tradition where they're in the Bifrost and then do a weird cut to black.
I wrote it down this time because I was like, why did it cut to black again? What's up with this? Why is it cutting to black?
The classic Thor tradition at this point, I guess.
I don't know, man. But I will say, the shot where they're in the Bifrost and going through it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It looks sick. My next note is Ramatra, because a guy says they will suffer as I have suffered.
Yeah.
And I just thought Ramatra, because that's where I'm at with notes about this movie already. We're like 30 minutes into this movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're flying. It's because there's just not a lot to talk about. It's boring.
Yeah.
But where I'm at with notes is just writing the word Ramatra.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Odin sucks. Natalie Portman's actually doing a pretty decent job, though.
Natalie Portman does a good job. She is given absolutely nothing to work with in this movie. And she does pretty good.
Yeah, when she's like actually has lines to say.
Yes.
And like she's discovering things, that she's like doing a pretty good job.
I like that she's like, oh, it's like this like quantum field thing or whatever, and they're like, no, it does this, and she's like, oh, so like a quantum field thing, like, it's great. Also, I really like that Odin's like, nope, get her out of here until she like explodes a little bit, and he's like, okay, yeah, my bad, there's something here. That one's on me.
Odin
Oopsie
sucks.
daisy.
He's a bit of a
He
dick.
sucks so hard. Yeah, welcome to Norse mythology.
Yeah.
That's the plot. We cut to Loki, and all I can think is, dude, I wish that Loki were in more of this movie.
Yeah, he was cooking about Odin's body count because he's like, yeah, I killed a lot of people in New York, but think about Odin's.
Yeah. My
Um,
note here is, please tell me they have to work with Loki. I need more of him in this movie. Like, he's just by far the most interesting character.
yeah, because like
Yeah.
when it comes to Loki, I think when you think of him as a character that has been lied to for thousands of years now, and
Yeah.
this whole bit with like the Avengers and Thor and everything has just been kind of him crashing out a little bit because his father and his mother have been lying to him.
Yeah.
I used to not really rock with his motivation. I see it now.
Yeah. His mom also drops the line, "You're so perceptive about everyone but yourself."
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put a pin in that one for later.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, everything about Loki in this movie I like a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
And
because
yeah,
you're
no,
right. This is like Avengers is his acting out, is his crash out. Like he is like, I've been lied to by everyone, but also he's mischievous. It's in his nature. He
Mm-hmm.
can't like, and so, I would argue that later when he fakes his death, it's him like, I can't change who I am.
Yeah.
Like I still have my aspirations and who I am.
Yeah, because I used to when we were watching Thor, I liked him, but I kind of thought his turn to evil came out of nowhere, but I get it now because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it needs to be deeper than this dude is just A, mischievous by nature because it's just who he is, and B, this is him just kind of crashing out because he's been lied to for a very long time, and also Odin sucks.
And also Odin sucks.
Um, and then I also this is changing topics. So they talk about the dark elves like inventing the ether, right? And then they talk about there being more. Did they invent the Infinity Stones? Like
Okay.
at this point in the canon?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact lines that they say. I think because the Infinity Stones created the universe.
Yeah, but they
And
also created the ether. The dark elves specifically
yes. So I guess.
did. Okay. Well, the ether I think predates the universe a little bit, so it's possible.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, they
It's
gloss over it, so we don't have to.
it's vague and unexplained, like a lot of stuff in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Elf Super Juice.
Yeah. Pretty
That's
cool.
a sick. I like that they stab this thing into him. He gets arrested, then he pulls it out and then goes super. That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good plan. And then I got really sad because they didn't let Loki out immediately.
Yeah, I also wanted to touch base on the Jane and Thor stuff because every romance scene between them is like a corny
Dude.
indie like movie where they're like, or I don't know if you've seen that like TikTok where it's like she's like everybody's like a bag of chips, you got the salty, you got the sweet. Like that's kind of what the dialogue is giving me when they're like talking about like the convergence and like they're messing with each other's hands and stuff like that.
Let's just say there's a reason I have 0 notes about their scenes together, and it's because I just didn't like them.
Mm-hmm. And going back to that TikTok, she's like, and just be that guy that opens a bag of chips in the store. It's so good,
Dude.
oh my god.
He's like, I think she has a line where she's like, I love listening to you explain things. And I'm like, one, the line every guy wants to hear, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But 2, girl, get up.
Get up. You're a scientist.
He
honey.
left you for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
Also, how much older is Odin than his wife? A couple thousand? Is he a pedophile?
No.
Okay.
I think Frigga and Odin are similar in ages. They're from the same like generation of gods.
Okay, well she aged a lot better than him, I'll just say that.
That's true. So the prison breakout happens, and then we get my favorite line in the movie where one of Thor's friends says, "It's as if they resent being imprisoned."
Yeah.
It's a really good joke.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Asgard is always just getting messed up every time.
Dude, for real. Would you rather live in New York or Asgard?
Bullet to brain. It's quicker.
Yeah, I take New York, I think.
I take black hole grenades, me personally.
Yeah, I jump into from the Outer Wilds. Um,
Oh, good reference. I like that one.
the Asgardian spaceships like almost look like
Chariots.
Viking ships.
Yeah, and like
It's
it's
sick.
cool.
I like that.
Hmm.
Um, then the super dark elf starts burning people out of their armor.
Yeah.
That's so hard. That's so hard. And then he has a weapon. Do you know what the weapon is?
What was the weapon?
The grenade that erases people.
Yeah, the black hole grenade.
The black hole grenade. I love the black hole grenade. It's
It
cool.
looks cool. And then they finally get to Loki and Thor's mom. They get to Frigga.
They do.
And then I don't know if you noticed, there's a really weird continuity cut that
No.
happened because they were like holding Frigga, like they got to her, they were holding her, and
Mm-hmm.
like Malekith walks up to fake Jane Foster, touches her, she
Yeah.
disappears, and he turns around. Frigga's like being held out, but she's not like being in a headlock or anything, and she
Mm-hmm.
smiles at him, and then it cuts back to her, and she's automatically in a headlock 1 frame later.
That's really funny. I did not notice. I think I looked away and took a note at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny. What do you think of Frigga's last stand?
She do good. I wish she was in the movies more, because
Yeah.
I say this for like a lot of people that die. I just don't really know who they are. Like I get that
Uh-huh.
it's Thor's mom and Loki's mom, and that's sad. And because she seems
Yeah.
like the chiller part, she seems like a good person.
Yeah. She's not Odin.
She's not Odin, and she seems like the best parts of Odin are from her. So
I really like that a lot of the things that she does are things that like oh, Loki fights with a dagger, the
Mhm.
illusions. Like I
Yeah,
like that you can see kind of that each of their fighting style from a different parent. Um
yeah, that
and then
is
my
really
next
cool.
note is imagine you're the guy doing the Viking funeral for the queen and you miss.
Literally, that's so
Like
embarrassing.
that'd be dude. Also I wrote that they should have let Loki be at the funeral. I get that he's in prison, but still like I think that she would have wanted him there no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah,
And I think that like it's a little evil to not have him there. I think her death works fine because we see how it affects Thor and how it affects Loki and their relationship.
yeah.
But it feels like it's a for their relationship type of thing, not a
Character.
character.
And then Stan Lee shows up.
Then Stan Lee shows up.
Hi, Stan Lee.
I just wrote hi Stan.
That's why
I
I
don't think
always
it's a
write hi, Stanley.
I don't think it's a particularly good cameo. It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, his ones in the past two movies have not been very. Actually, the past
It's
three
been
Avengers
fine.
wasn't very good either. I don't think, but
No, there's fine. We're a long way from I thought he'd be taller.
Thor and Odin argue.
Yeah, I really like their argument. I think it's very consistent with Thor in the last few movies and like his arc and what he's been
Hmm.
going through.
Yeah, I think Thor is right, but because I think Odin sucks, but
Yeah,
his plan does not sound very good on paper. So
it is not. No, I understand where Odin is coming from, even if I think that he's wrong. The scene after that, where Heimdall and Thor are like talking in like a tavern area, is shot so well. The lighting in that scene is really good.
hmm
I really, really like that scene. Um, can I be, s- can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I have 15 more bullet points for the rest of the entire movie.
Okay, then we can rapid fire. I got some yapping I can do.
No. For reference, I have like for the rest of the movie. For the whole movie, I have about 600 words. For this point on, 178, and we're like halfway through the movie.
This movie's boring.
This movie's so boring.
Um,
So,
I like that Loki kind of lost his mind when he found out his mom died. That was cool.
dude, it's so good. It's such a good character moment. Like the illusion fading,
Hmm.
and you just realize that he's just so broken.
Yeah. And then the Captain America joke is the best part of the whole movie.
I said Loki turning into Cap is so funny when he goes, God bless him, and he just like fully gets cut off. It's a good joke.
That is hands down the best part of the movie.
Yes. Well, it's the funniest joke in the movie. My favorite scene is actually a little bit later with Loki and Thor. I really like Loki and Thor in this movie. I think this is a very like it's a microcosm of what their relationship could be, and I really
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Because it's even we'll get to it when we get to that scene. What do you have
Yeah.
next about like this whole breakout and escape?
Well, the whole frame of this, like the whole way they're doing this thing, where they're like
The framing
explaining
device, yeah.
it, yeah, is kind of it doesn't really work for me. I thought it was kind of just I don't know. It didn't really work for me. It didn't sell it like I thought it should.
I like it because I like heist movies, and so this feels
Hmm.
like a heist movie kind of layout to me. But I understand if it's out of nowhere. It's very tonally distant from the rest of the movie.
Yeah. How did Loki know about the secret exit to the Dark World?
It's established in the last movie that Loki knows ways in and out of Asgard that nobody else
Okay,
does.
that's what I thought
Yeah,
because
that's
he
yeah,
snuck people in, but I'm pretty sure he just
yes.
got them in through the Bifrost last time.
Mm-mm.
He
He has
didn't.
secret entrances in and out of Asgard. Yeah, no,
Okay,
it's just
that's
it's not through
okay.
the Bifrost because that's
Okay,
where because Heimdall would see them if it was through the Bifrost.
but
Yeah,
then, but so he just knows that this one leads to the Dark World.
I'm assuming that he's found basically every way in and out of Asgard. I mean, he's had
Okay,
thousands of years,
yeah,
so
that's
he just
fair.
knows this one's the Dark World.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
like much of a that was like a just
yep,
talking
lore
through.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the scene of okay, this is where Jane turns into nothing. Okay, I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, this is where they lobotomize her.
Jane stops being a character 40 minutes into this movie,
Yeah.
and she comes back a little bit in the third act, but not really. It's really really irritating because throughout these movies, right? The way that these movies treat women is very poor. And then you get Captain America, where you're like, oh my gosh, maybe it's going to get better. And then it immediately goes downhill in Avengers. In Iron Man 3, Pepper goes from like the character that she is in Iron Man 1 and 2 to this damsel in distress character. And then in this movie, Jane is literally a walking MacGuffin for so much of this movie. She is only here because she got the Aether, but then she doesn't have a character arc beyond that. And it's incredibly annoying. It is very badly done. And it's the kind of thing that, I mean, I guess I expect out of 2013, but at the same time, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can do so much better. She had more of an arc in the first movie, and she wasn't great in the first movie. Like, it irritates me a lot because it's the kind of thing where it's only Thor and Loki. Thor, Loki, and Odin are the only three that are really characters in this movie beyond, like, 2 to 3 personality traits. Eric Selvig has been reduced to nothing. Darcy is just making jokes all the time. Jane is a walking MacGuffin. Even their mom, I feel like, even though she gets a little more fleshed out, is also reduced. Sif and the Warriors 3 are basically nothing in this movie. It's incredibly irritating because I think that so many of these characters have so much potential, and it's no wonder that they don't do anything with any of them going forward. That's my rant.
Cook. Because then
It's
also
really, really irritating.
people are either just plot devices or they're, like you said, MacGuffins, or they make questionable choices
Yeah.
and are dicks and stuff. And also Thor just decides to bring Jane, who's the walking MacGuffin, right to the villain.
One more. Heimdall is a character, I will say. I think that Heimdall is pretty good in this movie.
Yeah. He gets like one or two moments, so he's a character.
Yeah. We'll talk more about this during Ragnarok. This will come back on Ragnarok, but it's irritating to me how this movie and the first movie treat its side characters.
Mm-hmm. And then
That being said,
yeah, go.
despite the fact that Jane is just asleep for most of this part, there's a scene with Loki and Thor where they start arguing, and Thor goes to hit him, and he like stops and is like, "Mother wouldn't want us to fight." And I think it's a very well done scene of them coming to terms with where their relationship is, and I think it's a very good scene of like where the relationship will go. Like it's like these two characters really working, and I really like it. And
well, I like the
wish
stuff
this was more
with
of the
those
movie.
two too, because you can tell. Like, I think this builds onto the stuff I was talking about with Loki earlier. Is
Yeah.
you can tell that this stuff that Loki's been doing lately is very much him acting out because Thor's like, I know you're still in there, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, you're my brother. Like this is clearly just something you're going through.
Yeah, I brought it up in Avengers how I love that Thor is always looking for the good in Loki,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that comes up here too. And I really, really like it. And I think, yeah, hey, I want to apologize to anyone that I ever told Loki wasn't a good character. I don't think I ever did do that because I hadn't seen this movie. And I really didn't have any strong feelings about Loki, but I do now. I have very strong positive feelings about Loki,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes me very excited for July.
Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait to get back to peak. Anyways, but we got peak coming up in the next 2 weeks. So, anyways,
Yep. You clocked it was an illusion immediately, right?
yeah. Well, I've seen the movie before, so I knew it.
Oh, okay.
But
So I hadn't, and I clocked it, and yet I still really liked it. It still really worked for me, even though I knew it was an illusion. Like, I think it was a fun plan.
yeah, Thor's been stabbed before though, so like no big deal. And then he gets his arm cut off, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, that's a little bit more problematic.
Yeah, it's a little bit much. Yeah. I think it's funny though. I like this fight scene. I think this fight scene's pretty good. I like seeing Loki fight because I think we don't get to see that super often. And then Jane lays on the ground the whole time and does nothing.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I just want to back up and just talk about, because I kind of get why Thor wanted to bring Jane here just to get the ether out of her, but then his plan beyond that is just shoot it with lightning and hope that works.
Yeah, it predates the universe, but if you shoot with enough lightning, surely it works.
Yeah. So that just feels awesome. And then my thing with the fights with Thor is that, you know, like when you got Iron Man, he can do some pretty creative stuff with his. When you got Captain America, he's got a shield. He can be pretty creative there. Thor just kind of punches people, you know, the whole time. I get a little bored of watching it.
A little bit inside baseball. I watched the first half of Winter Soldier earlier before we recorded today.
Mm-hmm.
And the hand-to-hand combat in that is very good. But like it's different and it's interesting to look at. Where I think a lot of the combat in this movie is just you're gonna swing the hammer. I think this movie does an interesting thing. Like I think in the third act, I think the fight's pretty good. Like the last one, but yeah, it does end up being like.
I think it's good because of the set piece. Because that's what you need to do with Thor. Is you need to put them in interesting scenarios.
Oh, are you telling me that like desert kind of like ruined dark area isn't a super interesting set piece for a Thor fight?
Yeah, I am telling you that.
I'm confused because I thought that if the movie was ugly to look at, that maybe the fight would be good.
Maybe it would have aura.
It doesn't.
This is where I wrote, why do they keep mentioning shoes in this movie? This is skipping past the fake out Loki death, but
okay, I have a couple notes about the fake out Loki death. One, he says, "See you in hell." The place is called Helheim in Norse mythology, and I feel like that's a thing that should have gotten hit in the script. How does Loki's death work for you in this? Because obviously you know it's a fake out.
Yeah, I know it's a fake out. But I still think it works. Like if
I think it's the most impactful on-screen death we have.
Yeah, I agree because my thing is Loki could have avoided being stabbed there so easily, but if we're going there, like if I'm ignoring that, I think it's a really effective death because he does have a little bit of redemption, you know.
Yeah, I really like Thor's line, "I will tell Father of all you did today," where he's like, "I don't want you to die thinking that everyone will still hate you." I like that. I think it's really good. I do like also that this movie does not lampshade that he's alive. Yeah. It's like you see him turn into the guard, like all that kind of stuff. I think that's cool. I think it's like, no, he's still being tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where's your where's your next note at?
We're back on Earth, baby. Well, why didn't they just take the ship? Why did they like go into that cave?
I don't know.
Because the ship wasn't broken. Loki took it. They just forgot about it.
I don't know, man.
Okay, whatever.
They call the guy. I feel so bad for the guy. He's doing his best.
I agree. I like him. And then Eric Selvig becomes kind of a character again for a little bit.
Yeah, he just like locks in, I guess.
Yeah, and I like him when he's locked in. I think he's a funny little guy.
I know. I like Eric Selvig old man. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like Eric Selvig a lot, and it's partially because I just love Stellan Skarsgård as an actor, but partially because I think he's a fun character.
Yeah. I also wanted to just this is another thing I said like last episode where I was like, why isn't Captain America here? So they were planning what to do in the night. Y'all could have called like Nick Fury because the elf didn't arrive until the next day.
Just saying. I feel like you can call people here.
Anyways, because this is a universe-ending threat, we might need some backup. Anyways.
Might call the Avengers.
Yeah.
I think this set piece for the third act fight is pretty good. I really like it, actually. Them flying through portals, them flying through universes. I think it's the one thing that you could do to make this fight really interesting and work pretty well. Unfortunately, all of the cuts to Jane and the other humans really break up the tone. And they really break up the fight into a very boring way.
Yeah. Um, taking the train mid-fight is insane when you can fly.
Funny joke. I liked
Funny
it.
joke, you can fly.
You can fly. Interjecting. I'm not interjecting. This is how the podcast works. Mjolnir, like the cuts to like watching Mjolnir fly as he's like going from portal to portal, and you see it like making like right turns and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Even if the sound design is worse than Avengers 1, but we don't gotta harp on that too much because we're about to get peak sound design in Age of Ultron.
Yeah. And then it was a cool fight scene or set piece, but it was a very basic way of him winning, you know? He just went and like threw the thing at him.
I will say, I did write down, oh good, Thor has to take the spikes. I was really worried Jane was going to get to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I think Darcy and Ian making out is really funny.
Yeah, it's a fine bit. I don't
it's
have
a good
any,
joke,
I genuinely
even if I
didn't
think
write
that...
it. I don't think I wrote the word Darcy or Ian in my notes.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I don't have that written down. I thought it was funny, but I think that you should have cut everything about that out of the movie for the third act.
And then yeah, it kind of just ends. I don't really have anything else.
It does kind of. I do want to talk about the ending.
Yeah, I like Thor not wanting to be king.
I know, me too.
I really do actually like that.
I think it's a really good ending arc for his thing, for his like it's a really good ending for his arc in these movies. I really do like it. That's the thing, is I think this movie ends these characters all in pretty good places. I forgot Loki was on the throne at the end. That's cool. I like that reveal.
That is a really cool last shot.
Yeah, like I like it a lot. Post credit scene.
It ends with a Guardians teaser?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why does that lady's shirt have nipples on it?
I saw that too. I don't know.
That
was weird.
That's weird.
Anyways.
But hi Benicio. Hi Benicio del Toro. I'm so excited to see you.
I can't wait.
I'm so excited to see you in 2 weeks.
Oh my god. And then
I can't wait.
The reunion of Jane and Thor being the post credit scene.
And then there's also the scene of like that one monster from Helheim running around.
Yeah. Absurd. Insane.
My note is, yay, I guess they reunited.
Yeah, I don't care. But if they're trying to run with that romance, that being for the post credit scene is insane. All right, let's wrap this up or something. I don't know.
Yeah. If you wanted shorter episodes, boom, here you go. A Thor of the Dark World episode. Here's my spoiler review. This movie's really boring. And I have a lot of problems with it. Jane sucks as a character because she's not a character and it's really irritating. And I already did my rant about that. With all that we've said has pretty much like, I don't think I need to give this review. I think I said a lot of what I wanted to say at the top. I think that everything that I said applies. I think Loki is the strongest part of this movie. I think Loki and Thor's relationship is the strongest part of this movie. I think Jane is the weakest part of this movie. To no fault of her own, it's the scripting. I think there's fun ideas in here. I think that it's quite boring, but I also think there's stuff in scenes in here that are interesting. As Eric said, it is the most mid movie of all time. And it's just that. It's just mid. I didn't actively hate watching it for a lot of it. I will say I found myself like entertained by it. In parts. In other parts, I was like, oh, this is really boring. Third act wise, I don't know, man. I just wish that all the cuts to the people mattered. I guess it's cool that Jane was teleporting people away, but not really. Look how they massacred my boy Eric. I just want to go watch Ragnarok. What about you?
And Loki. I want to watch Loki too.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I don't hate this movie as much as I thought I did, because I talked about earlier how I used to hate this movie. I don't hate this movie. It is fine. It's just really boring. Nothing stands out. The story's fine. It works. The characters, with exceptions, are fine. They work. The score is also just like really generic. Action for me doesn't really work super well. I think it's just like serviceable at best. Nothing's like really bad, but nothing's like good. It's like just turn off, watch movie. When people talk about like generic Marvel movie, this is that movie, because There's nothing like offensive to me besides like you mentioned like Jane and like how they write women in these movies. Um, but it's also like there's like barely for anything for me to work with here. You know, it's the villain. The only thing is that conceptually, the villains work and they look cool, but there's nothing interesting actually being shown to me. So it's mid. It's a movie that exists. I don't know if I prefer this over Thor 1, to be fully honest. I know you don't.
No, I don't. I think that Thor 1 has more going for it in performances and in character writing. I think
Mm,
what it comes down to me is I think that Jane is a better character in Thor 1, and I think Loki is stronger in Thor 1 than he is in this movie. Even though I really, really like him in this movie. He is like the saving grace of this movie. I think there's more. I think the issue for me with this movie is that it's more boring than Thor 1 is.
I don't
I think
know.
that
Thor
Thor
1 was
1,
pretty boring to me too, and it also kind of
but I
pissed me
think
off with how it looked.
yeah, but I think with Thor 1 you get some of the like shield side of things that's more interesting to me of like the whole like him trying to get the hammer scene, that kind of stuff. Whereas this movie it just feels like and now we're here and now we're here. This is happening. Jane's asleep now. For me
Yeah,
personally.
I
But
think if you just ask, depending on the day, I might say this one's like 0.25% better, or I might say it's a little worse. I don't know. It doesn't. They're both not good to me. I don't like either of them.
what's your number?
Well, I gave it 2.5 just because that's like the mid on Letterbox, like 2.5. I don't know. I could go to fours. I don't care. I really
I
don't
want to
care
give it
that
a
much.
4.
Sure. Yeah,
I
we'll
I
do
was
it.
I was gonna see if I could work you down to a 4. Let's go like 4.2
Can we be
because I think
freaky
at
like
that
4.207?
no
Okay.
4.2 it's redeemed by Loki and the third act set piece.
What did we give Thor 1? Like a 4.5?
5.3.
We give it
5.3.
5.3? Alright, whatever.
Yeah. 4.2 for Thor the Dark World. It's a stinker, but I want to make something so clear to the audience. It is not worse than Incredible Hulk.
Hulk is worse. Hulk is way worse. It's
It
not
is
even
not
close.
worse than Incredible Hulk. And also, if I may, this movie is very mid. It is not as bad as I was led to believe.
No. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I used to really hate this movie.
Yeah. That being said, I don't think it's very good. Next week is Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yippee! Good movie!